Okay, so we were kind of asked to scare you, kind of, is essentially what it is. So
I think it's fair.
This is about like the side of YouTube that isn't so fun. I would say that most of the work that goes into your YouTube channel is happening on the back end, the part that people don't see.
Right.
And this is something that's not fun at all, and it pertains to like your personal privacy, what you should record, what you shouldn't record, and then like steps you can take to protect your own personal privacy. And it's crazy that like privacy on the internet has evolved so quickly. Like if you think about it, right? Like 10 years ago, there was a rule if you were savvy on the internet. It was, hey, don't use your real name on the internet. Kids, don't do that.
Don't do it.
And then you were able to use your real name, but don't talk to strangers. Strangers are bad. And now we give strangers our real name on our mobile devices. They give them our location, and we have strangers pick us up in their stranger car and take us to a location.
Yep. Love Uber.
So, not sponsored. So that's insane to me. I mean, I love the internet. Don't get me wrong. I love it. Privacy is like such a big deal. Right. From not being able to use your real name to now like everyone sending each other pictures of their buttholes on the internet.
Yep.
So
True.
So like, okay, so personally, me, on my YouTube channel, yeah, there's people that will like publicly hate you and stuff, but it's the people that don't say anything that can be the most dangerous to you. I had my bank accounts compromised. I had my social media compromised. And I, to this day, have no idea who it was.
Really?
No idea! And luckily, PayPal. Don't use PayPal! PayPal had no answers for me. They're like, don't know. You just can't use your account now. Oh, fine, that's cool, that's great. The guys, the girls, the guys, the kids, whoever it was, whoever got a hold of my PayPal account didn't even take money out. They didn't take money from me. They just made it so I couldn't send money out and I couldn't take money in, which is enough inconvenience in my life to ruin it for like a month. So with that happening, like on the back end, you don't know who did it, you don't know why they did it. It was probably just to have fun, but like it was at that point where you have to make a decision, being in the public eye or whatever you want to call it. Do you give any attention to that? Like this is the first time I've said anything about that because, I mean, it's specific to you guys. I'm trying to help you guys. But I could never publicly reference that in any way.
Yeah, don't go blabbing. Okay.
Because if I do that, not only do I give the person credit, some other person might be like, oh, it must be easy. What's John's PayPal address? And just wreck my life some more. So you have to protect yourself, but it's also, you also can't be like too transparent with your audience either. Like I don't know why the person did it or the people did it, but you have to be conscious of what you're recording, why you're recording it, your location, your surroundings, license plates, your kids. If you have kids, like you have to remember that you're sending this information. You're giving people a window to your life, and it's up to you to actually show them what they should see and not too much. Because if you do, I know there's like people that will vlog with their kids.
Yep.
And you are giving people an opportunity to see your life. And for some reason, that like the people that are watching become entitled, and now they're your kids' parents too. So they're in your comment section like, "Hey, diapers on wrong, you little child abuser." So you just gotta be careful and make conscious decisions about what you're sharing, why you're sharing. Be intentional about it, and be very, very careful. But that's why I have Jerry, because
I'm the one that hacked him.
Jerry hacked
Sorry, I had to find out this way.
So Jerry, how did you do it? Why? Okay, you're not Jerry. You're just a normal asshole.
Yep, pretty much.
So why would you want to hack a fellow creator? Is it just for fun? Do you have intentions behind it? If you were to do it, how would you go about it?
All right.
Well, first off, the reason I want to hack y'all is pretty simple. Just because I want recognition. Because I don't have a life. I live in my parents' basement. Preferably, they don't even live in the house. They abandoned me years ago. And I just want to feel loved. And the best way to get somebody to give you attention is to attack them. It's absolutely true. Can I get a show of hands? How many people in here have received a death threat through a comment or an email, no matter how innocuous? Okay,
That's too many people.
that's pretty decent.
That's
I
many people.
think last count was about 28 for me throughout my YouTube career. Those people have no intention on killing you, okay? They don't. I even contacted the FBI when I got my first one, got really involved, my local police department, everything, and they all laughed at me. I was kind of mad about that, but they did. And the reason being is this happens constantly because somebody wants you to go public and say, I'm scared. Somebody wants you to go public and say, I'm scared for my life or something happened. They want to see that response. If any live streamers in the house? All right, have any of you had a SWAT attempt?
No.
Okay, well luckily I curbed the two that happened to me because I put a password on 911. It's a common practice when you're live streaming, especially when you get on the larger side. People like to call the police and say that they are you and have done horrible things so that the police will respond and come to your house. This is actually a really common thing. It's very, very smart if you're a live streamer, especially if you're getting large, to contact your local police department and ask them to put a password on 911. What'll happen is if somebody calls in anything like that, and this is why swatting is so hugely successful, is it doesn't matter where the number comes from, the police have to respond to it as if it's a real threat. That means kicking in your door, unfortunately. That means throwing you to the floors and tying your hands. It's very scary. And that's why we said that, we are going to scare you today, because this is a very real thing. And one of many things that you need to do to protect yourself is get to know your local police department. Don't worry, they're friendly. Most of them are, unless you live in Renton. But otherwise, you'll be okay. But no, seriously, get to know your local police force and get them to add the password on 911. What will happen is if somebody makes a SWAT attempt, the 911 operator will ask them for the password. If they don't give them the password, then what they'll do is they'll call your designated numbers, up to like 3 of them. And then you give them the password and they'll basically call off the SWAT. It'll never happen. But if in the event you don't answer your phone or something like that, it can become a very real thing.
Oh yeah.
This also happens to YouTubers, not just live streamers, but it's more common. But it's just
Well,
people,
that's because it's instant gratification. They get to see it live.
They want to see it live, and then they want to see you make a YouTube video that's like, oh man, I'm destroyed. Hey, look, I was recording, and a lot of people like to show it off. That's exactly what they want, and that's why they do it. I've only ever had 2 SWAT attempts because neither one of them were successful. And nobody did it again because they're like, okay, well, we're wasting our time. There's somebody that we can do it to that will respond. Now, it doesn't just apply to swatting. This applies across the board. If somebody threatens you on social media, they're trying to evoke a response. If somebody hacks you, they're trying to evoke a response. They don't want to steal your Xbox Live account. They don't want to take over your social media because you have more followers and they want to be heard. They're doing it because they want to get a rise out of you and they want to feel accomplished because they took down somebody who accomplished something that they couldn't themselves most of the time. So just be aware that when you're online, you need to protect yourself. And the best way to do that from hacking is, honestly, I'm going to turn this over to you, my arms get tired. You got that for me? All right. So the best way to handle this situation is to make sure that on every single account you have, especially your email, you're using 2-factor authentication. Do not wait. Enable it like right after this. Go and turn that on because that is the easiest egress point into getting into your accounts. Huh?
What is
so 2-factor authentication is basically where your cell phone receives a number and you have to type that number in addition to your username and password to gain access to your account. So if somebody gets your password, they still cannot successfully log in without having your cell phone physically in their possession. Now, this gets a little bit scarier because 2-factor isn't guaranteed to be 100%. It's your first wave of defense. The second thing that they're starting to do now is they're calling up your cell provider and saying, hi, I'm Jerry Berg, and my SIM isn't working. Can you guys issue me a new SIM? And then they'll go into the store and they'll pick it up and they'll claim to be you, and the person over the counter will just hand them a SIM, assuming that it's you without ever checking an ID. This is a common practice for a lot of cell providers. They're trying to fix this, but they're not there yet. So what you need to do is call your cell provider and let them know that you're an online personality and you're a high risk for hacking, and have them add a note to the account so that if anybody in any of the stores pulls up your account, they immediately see a note saying that this person's at high risk, you need to get a valid driver's license to approve any change or release any information. Since I've done these things, there have been several attempts to hack me, but none of them have been successful. But the most important one above all else is your email. Protect your email because through your email, they can reset the password to literally anything. And once they've done that, they have access to everything and they can cause you hell down the road for as long as they want to. So if you put a couple of those key things in place, 2-factor authentication, notify your local police department that you're a high risk, then the attempts when they do happen will not be successful and that'll detour other future attempts. So hopefully that's a little helpful. I know it's scary, guys, because I've gone through this all myself.
Nope.
I see a lot of
Back there.
scared looks now.
Go ahead.